welcome to the Health Edit. My name's Bal and I'm a certified health coach and a chartered physiotherapist with over 25 years experience in the National Health Service, and I'll be guiding you through the next 7 days in which we'll look at some of the reasons why we're getting fatter and sicker as a society. We have so much information available on the internet through the likes of YouTube, Instagram and TikTok on how we can improve our health, but maybe we're overwhelmed with it. Over the next 7 days, I'll show you simple illustrations of what our lifestyle is doing to our bodies and simple steps and hacks you can learn to reverse your body's inflammation set point, which is the #1 killer in society today. If you want to avoid type 2 diabetes, obesity, heart disease, cancers and Alzheimer's, then do your body a favour and lower this body's inflammation set point, and this is what I'm going to show you over the next 7 days. In the 1950s, when the NHS was born, it was to address the onset of acute illnesses, which were things like injuries, broken bones, viruses and infections. And 70 years later, it's burdened with chronic illnesses, 90% of which can be prevented by people just looking after themselves a little bit better. We're aging faster and getting sicker a lot younger, with 10-year-olds now being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. If you ask most, it's okay because the GP can fix it with a pill. But our bodies weren't made for pills, and in the next 7 days you'll learn our bodies think pills are toxic, and to cope with one pill, it creates this cascade of biological reaction to it, which then needs another pill to be addressed. And so starts the downward spiral of being dependent on medication just to get through the day. If this is starting at the age of 10, how many pills is that child going to be on at the age of 30? And that's if they make it to 30. With all the complications that come out of diabetes, who's to say they'll make it to that age? Isn't this a disservice we're doing to our future generation? And no, it's not really okay. The health service is at a crisis, and getting an appointment with anyone is mission impossible these days. When I first joined the NHS, we used to take time out to understand the patient. We used to sit down with them and really kind of explain their condition to them, give them tools to manage their day and rehabilitate their condition. And now the poor healthcare staff are so rushed due to the number and the number of people and tasks that they've got to get through that the patients are merely a number than a name. I'm going to give you the education and tools to get ownership of your own health and to avoid becoming another statistic in the healthcare system, to enjoy a fuller life well into your later years. Now, doesn't that sound like a better life to you? I firmly believe our body is our own responsibility, not the GP's. We make decisions on how we live, on what we fuel it with, on how we move it, and on how we rest it. So why is the GP responsible for us to fix us? But nothing would need fixing if we looked after our bodies the way nature intended, because our bodies are resilient. With the right fuel and treatment, they fix themselves. For example, when we get a cut on the skin, the body will heal the cut. When we break a bone and they put a plaster on it, the body is given time and space to heal its bone. Our bodies are immensely powerful. We just need to stop burdening our immune systems continuously to fight the inflammation and facilitate the body to do its best work and allow us to thrive well into our senior years. Now, just to give you some context, I want to mention some reasons why we're seeing this change and huge increase in the number of younger people with obesity and type 2 diabetes. Back in the 80s, low-fat diets became super popular. They demonized fat as the culprit of poor health and sugars were okay. Years later, we have this obesity pandemic on our hands. In one of the talks this week, I will cover the #1 hormone in charge of obesity, and believe it or not, it's not insulin. The scale of the obesity problem is now in the papers daily, as it's one of the biggest issues we're tackling across the globe. Obesity, diabetes, heart disease, cancers, Alzheimer's, they're all on the rise, and they're all preventable. Although the health deterioration issue started in the 80s, with the whole demonizing of fats, this is now only part of the problem. The problem has become a lot bigger than just what we're eating. And although food was the catalyst, we have developed many more problems along the way. For example, our sedentary lifestyles. convenience with mobile technology at our fingertips, nutritionally void and hyperpalatable foods delivered right to the door. We don't even have to think about these decisions anymore. Our whole body is running on autopilot, controlling us more than we're controlling our potential choices. Our subconscious mind is making decisions by itself and all steered by our hormones. Hormones are our body's chemical messengers, which control a number of bodily functions along with metabolism, mood, and cravings. And these help the subconscious mind run our body on autopilot. If we're to make changes, we need to learn what's going on in our body and increase our awareness on what we can do. And then we need to step up and take conscious control of our mind and body if we are to reverse engineer the damage that we're doing to our own health. So to master the body, we need to look at just beyond food. We need to look at everything, including our psychology. Why do we make the choices we make? Why do we fall into bad habits around our health? Why do we reach out for food when we're sad and depressed? And why are we so depressed these days? Is that something that we can change? Then we need to also look at our physiology. What does small amounts of daily exercise versus one big workout a week, for example, do to our body? If we had limited time, what would be the most effective exercise which would really move the needle on our health? How does consuming a specific food lead to a cascade of spiraling reactions in the body and directly create chronic low-grade stress and inflammation? We need to look at so much more than just food and diet and exercise. Look at our environments, the way we move or don't move, our sleep, our hydration, our relationship with our body, to name a few. So as you can see, there's so much more to good health, and everyone is so different at different stages of life. Some healthy, some with conditions, others on the brink of being put onto their first term medication. So there's no one golden method for all. Every person on this planet needs to master their own health with the right education and the right guidance. We're in an era now where we have the best information, the best research and evidence in the fields of biology, nutrition and fitness, which show us how to use a minimum effective dose to create rapid changes. And when we team this up with advances in psychological research, we can now understand the mind-body relationship and connect the dots between these fields to make some simple, healthy habits stick for a lifetime without relying on willpower. Now, over the next 7 days, we'll focus on the main topics of what controls our health. You'll have the opportunity to improve your knowledge, awareness, and implement a few changes to find your own unique code and make your own health breakthroughs. Now, the next part is really exciting for me as I help you connect the dots and really move the needle on your health over the next 7 days. I can't wait to hear about what shifted for you, your biggest health breakthroughs in 7 days' time. With love and compassion, welcome to the Health Edit.